How often do you hear people say and What about like? Do you find it annoying? Do you say them yourself? Do you think some people say them more than others? And have you ever thought that they might have meaning? These are all things we'll be exploring today and over the course of the next 426 episodes. These words have a name, filler words, and everyone uses them. That's why it matters. And while it may seem like they are just sounds, scientists and linguists have studied them. People use filler words all the time because they're so helpful. When you need to think, need to think, hang on. When you need to stall and not tell someone something. Well, you see, when you aren't sure. Yeah, she had like 4 cats, could have been 5, I don't know. Fillers are often put into 2 different categories, filled pauses and discourse markers. Filled pauses, such as and are used to, obviously, fill pauses. They're used to communicate to your listener that no, you are not done talking and no, they cannot interrupt you. The other type of filler words, discourse markers, actually convey meaning while simultaneously filling a pause. Discourse markers include you know, so, like, and I mean. Filled pauses are used to collect your thoughts before you say something. You can add filled pauses when you need to think about what you're going to say, but you don't want someone else to start talking. The second kind, discourse markers, have actual meaning themselves, such as softening bad news or criticism, or bringing up sensitive topics. They sometimes emphasize what's being said next, or they let your listener know that you're not very sure about what you're saying. When you say there are like 6 pillows on the couch, you're saying that there are around 6 pillows, but there could be 5 or 7, but something close to 6. When you invite someone to a party and they refuse just by saying no, they sound rude, but by adding fillers, they sound apologetic and thoughtful. Sorry, I can't, sounds much nicer than just no. The phrase I mean has a lot of uses. It can be used as a filled pause, but also a discourse marker. People often start a sentence with I mean, which indicates that they've done some thinking about what they're going to say. Saying I mean is sometimes used to say that I'm about to change what I said last to what I'm saying next. For example, the vase fell off the table. I mean the cat knocked the vase off the table. And sometimes people use it to say I'm bringing this topic back up from earlier. The phrase you know also has a couple of meanings. It can be used as a filled pause and to confirm that the person you are talking to understands what you're saying. You're asking, do you know? And they might nod or grunt to confirm. Other languages also have filler words, and I can't pronounce any of them, but they do exist. And when translated, they're actually pretty similar to the English ones. Other languages' filler words are divided into the same 2 types, filled pauses and discourse markers. So while languages all have different origins, they still have similar structures. Everyone uses filler words, except some people have trained themselves not to for their jobs. In order to sound more professional, and because they don't have to, newscasters and radio personalities don't use filler words. People use filler words when they have to think about what they're going to say next, and sometimes to convey meaning. But newscasters and radio personalities don't need to think about what they're going to say because it's in front of them, on a teleprompter. And they don't need to convey meaning because they're presenting information, not having a conversation. But for the most part, everyone uses filler words. Lots of research has been done on this topic, however some of it conflicts. Dr. Charlene M. Lacerna and her colleagues tried to find out exactly how common filler words are. They looked at studies conducted between the years 2003 and 2013 and found that younger people used filler words more often than older people. They also found that teenage women used them more often than teenage men, but by the age of 23 there was no difference in usage rates between genders. According to her research, Dr. Lacerna found that filled pauses were used at a similar rates by everyone, but discourse markers were more common among women and younger people. Mark Lieberman, a linguistics professor at the University of Pennsylvania, looked specifically at the usage of the fillers and He analyzed 2 sets of audio samples from over 11,500 speakers. Quote, on average, women in this sample said 22% more than men, and men said an incredible 250% more than women. But men also used filler words, either or more often than women overall, 38% more often to be precise. He also found that over time, the gender divide here seems to level out, and the older people of both genders use more and less. While researching my topic, I found a whole bunch of articles and videos that were designed to teach you how to stop using filler words, which after hearing what I've said today should make no sense. People oftentimes have a negative reaction to filler words. Subconsciously and consciously, people think that they sound unsure of themselves and flat out dumb, when the truth is, using fillers actually displays that thought and care was put into what they're saying. In fact, research has shown that people who are more conscientious use filler words more often than less conscientious people. And, yeah. Today we learned the two types of filler words, filled pauses and discourse markers. We learned how the different types of filler words are used. We learned that pretty much everyone uses filler words. We learned there are differences in usage rates across different groups of people, and we learned about how people perceive filler words. I'll see you next week, and as we say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome.